Canada, and check out these lines. Team Canada taking on Finland in the game at 1 o'clock. About 8 minutes is when it starts. We know it'll be another 10 minutes after that, playing up there in Boston. We'll see if they boo the national anthem. Canada lines in warm-up. Braden Point up to the first line with Connor McDavid and Mark Stone. John Cooper going with, this is not surprising at all. McKinnon, Reinhart, and Crosby on line 2. Mitch Marner, a John Cooper favorite, with Anthony Cirelli and Brendan Hagel. And then the fourth line, Thomas Konechny draws back in with Sam Bennett and Brad Marchand. Travis Sanheim and Drew Doughty on the second pair, Josh Marcy and Colton Parayko. And then Cale Makar back in the lineup, playing with his teammate there in Colorado, Devon Toews. So we'll see if Canada can win in regulation and take care of business against the USA on Thursday night. All right, another thing. I want to get to this real quick. I mentioned this before. I want to get to it now. I don't want to hear a damn thing from Canadians complaining about picking the wrong roster. You've got Julien Brisebois and John Cooper working with some of the brightest minds in the world for Team Canada. This isn't about player selection. This is a story about Team USA and how they've caught up to Canada. That U.S. developmental program has worked wonders. There's also a grit and an edge that the Americans' top players have. I mean, it says a lot. Nobody's talking about this, but it says a lot that the Kachucks, Matthew and Brady, were the ones scrapping up there with 2 bottom 6 forwards from Canada. 2 top 6 guys for the U.S., 2 bottom 6 guys for Canada. And that's not taking anything away from Sam Bennett and a guy that I freaking love for the Tampa Bay Lightning, Brandon Hagel. But you have Matthew and Brady dropping the gloves against guys that weren't Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, or Mitch Marner. Big-time hockey games, they're not won with flash and dash. You have to go to the dirty areas. You got to play tough physical hockey to come out on top. You need contributions from everyone. Look at the red, white, and blue. Matthew Boldy scoring goals. Dylan Larkin scoring goals. Charlie McAvoy laying people out with his physical play. It's not the best players that win in hockey. It's the best team. I don't care who you brought out of the stands to play for Canada, whether he was a current player or a former player. They weren't beating the United States on Saturday night. You know, for years, people were saying that Canada's B team was the second best team in the world. Well, now people are complaining that guys like Logan Thompson aren't in goal and Habs captain Nick Suzuki isn't playing for Team Canada. It's kind of crazy how the tables have turned. Can't wait to see these two teams go at it once again on Thursday night if Canada takes care of business. Shout out to our friend Cheryl. If you thought it was exciting on TV, you should have been there. It was electric. Shout out to our girl Cheryl. Huge Lightning fan. She traveled up there. Go follow her on social media. Cheryl, put your tag. Cheryl, put your social media handle so people can talk to you or people can follow you. Because Cheryl, she's playing pianos like all over the country. She flew up to Canada, Florida girl, up there in the snow, supporting Team USA, which was pretty badass. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but after the end of the game the other night, Chris Krenn, you guys remember Krenner, who was the beat writer for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and also now he's one of their head PR guys. He was on TV after the US beat Canada with a big USA flag. Krenner actually used to be a part of USA Hockey. So now that he's got the gig with the Lightning, for him to be able to go to the games, like it's great. Be able to see him on air, on TV, hair boy, as they called him. Yep. The Canadians were hating, calling him hair boy, but Chris Krenn got the last laugh. Again, okay, there's Cheryl. Cheryl.Newcomb. Go check her out on all social media platforms. Cheryl, thank you so much. Such a big supporter and a huge Lightning fan. Go check out her travels because she is just so incredible. And yeah, to be able to see from a firsthand perspective what that game was like Saturday night, I don't know if you can necessarily compare it to much. I really don't. Because something that has that type of feel to it, right? I just said it with Ian. To start a game with a bang like that, it's almost like the year that who was it? The Bears? No, it was the Ohio State. Ted Ginn ran a touchdown back against the Gators in the national championship game. And then Devin Hester did the same thing in the Super Bowl against the Colts. Ironically enough, both those teams lost. Derek Jeter hit a home run against Bobby Jones in the World Series back in 2000. When you look at that, as David Terry says right here, best damn game I've ever seen. I can't disagree with you, man, because it was 60 straight minutes of just back and forth. And as Ryan says, Matthews asked Hagel to go, and Hagel couldn't say no. Yeah, and then Brady and Sam Bennett throw it on the gloves, and then JT Miller and Colton Parayko throw it on the gloves. That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. And people coming on the bandwagon talking about hockey. Oh, man, is this the greatest sport? I've been telling you that for a long time. I love all the other sports. I feel like I'm well-versed in a lot of the sports, but there is no peak. There's no top of the mountain quite like hockey, because it's the ultimate combination of speed and skill and strength and toughness. And where other sports, there could be a lull in the action because, listen, we know how baseball is. It starts with a one-on-one confrontation between the pitcher and the batter. Basketball, I think, is wearing thin on some people, the way that they have portrayed their product to the public. And I'm going to get into that after we talk to our guy, Mike Neighbors, here momentarily. And then football, as great as football is, it's a play and then stop, and then a play and then stop. Hockey, you could go 9 straight minutes and just back and forth hits, shots, save, hit the post, unbelievable passes. Like, there is just an incessant nature to hockey where it just never stops. And then when you have the high-end talent, like you saw on Saturday night with Connor McDavid scoring the goals, Tampa Bay Lightning own Jake Gensel scoring a couple of goals, and then you see the Kachuk brothers and JT Miller throwing down with Sam Bennett, Brandon Hagel, and Colton Parayko. You can't beat that. You cannot beat that. There is no other comparison in sports to what we just saw there. And you know what they do? They fight, they go to the box, they serve their 5 minutes, and then they get back out there. They don't get suspended. They don't get ejected. And for all those people that think they should get rid of fighting because it shouldn't be a part of the game, go back and watch the first 9 seconds. Go look at social media and look how everybody was enthralled with the beginning of that contest. It wasn't the fact that it was just the fight. It was what the fight meant. They knew that this was a battle. And this goes far and beyond what's going on the ice. People booing the national anthems, the tariffs and everything. Like, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, and I know a lot of you don't either. But that's the reality of the situation. Go look at social media. Go look at these people that are okay with the booing of the national anthem of the United States because of what is going on diplomatically between our two countries. That thing seeps into sports whether people like it or not. There's not many